There's no such thing as grown-ups.
Ready?
Mostly ready.
Sometimes you do things when you're not ready, even if there's a dog freaking out directly to your right with an old ah!
As the old adage goes.
Come on up and be in the show, buddy. Come on.
Come on
Up. Say hi to Donna. Because there's no such thing as grown-ups. There's no such thing as grown-ups. .com.
Not anymore until you pay for the .com.
Oh, that's
How did I do?
I think it was okay. You're going to be on a delay anyway, so you'll never be able to synchronize completely.
Synchronized swatches.
All right, damn, buddy. So you're ready. So my name is Curtis.
And I'm Tara.
And the face to our right, the left. I don't know how to do this when I'm
Over
looking
here.
in the mirror. It's that guy over there. It's Don from caricaturesbydon.com.
I am Don of caricaturesbydon.com.
Or the Don Pinsent on most internet circles.
Oops.
All right, so this is, I guess, technically our real first video episode. I've been doing these Twitch streams where I'm playing video games and showing people how the video games are made and behind the scenes and whatnot.
I feel weird.
So I figured, hey, if we're going to record into the computer and do this with Don's face anyway, I might as well just use the same setup and see if I can do this with the least amount of wires possible. Because the last time we did a show with you, there was only there's cables going from the computer to the recorder to the mixer, plus another microphone so you can hear us, plus whatever we had to do to keep this dog from going crazy.
You may have to go to have a nap.
Yeah.
Are we live?
We're live. Is this live?
No, this isn't live.
We're live.
Okay.
If I hit that start streaming
okay.
button, actually nothing would happen because we're out in the woods. We don't have the internet capacity to go live at any point in time.
Right.
So,
what's going on?
I hear that you wanted to talk about something specifically. I don't know if it's I read your Facebook.
Well, probably everybody knows.
I mean, everybody knows who Don
everybody
is.
But we had new listeners, so they might want some backstory on how
Hello,
we know
new listeners.
Don.
My name is Curtis.
We
and this
might
is Tara.
have new listeners.
We
Maybe
used
you
to
should,
work with Don.
Think about that. We used to work with Don, and we talked
I
about
am
him all the
Don.
time. Me and Don used to sit together.
Oh yeah. Yeah, you and Don both made your rounds around the studio quite a bit. I sat by whoever was lucky enough to share my office.
Yeah, I was a big procrastinator back in those days.
And now?
And now I'm a small procrastinator.
The thing about those
That's
days is
progress.
they're also these days. How about these days, those days? Yeah, I don't know, I think you might suffer from the same kind of weird procrastination that I suffer from, where you're usually like, oh, I'm not going to get to this other thing I know that is important because I'm going to crosshatch this guy's face for 4.5 hours. Or just some other weird thing where it's just like, I'm just so caught up in this. Or even like you, it's like, oh, I spent the weekend building a Lego house. Good, that's great, but it's not really, for the world. But in the world where I go to everywhere now, I see so many adult coloring books.
Adult coloring books.
Don, are you putting out an adult caricature coloring book? And when?
You know what? I really want to. I've been thinking about it for a long time, but it's not going to make me a whole lot of money, and so it's not on the top of my priority list.
They're very popular right now, though. It could explode.
Yeah, that's what I hear.
So you used to do sneak caricatures of everyone in the studio, and we had them put up all around the studio.
Yes.
Can I not hear
I
you?
don't do that so much anymore.
So we had
What
them
with
put
there
up all
not
around the
being a
studio,
studio
but
anymore.
every time we have meetings, you would sneakily do someone, and we wouldn't know who. So everybody was like, well, I was anyways, before you knew if yours hadn't been done yet. So then you go to the meeting, you're like, oh my God, I better make my face
Pose my face better so that Don draws it in the best possible light.
And there was a couple people that really, I think you couldn't put them up or something.
look
like that.
as normal
We don't have
as
to name
possible.
Names,
Yeah, there were several that got hidden.
do we lose Don?
Yeah.
Yeah, he just
There
dropped
was.
out there. He's
Remember,
back.
there being one particular person.
back.
I don't know whether I should mention
I
his
can
name or
barely hear him
not.
now.
Yeah, I can't hear.
One
It's
particular
these headphones,
person.
this headphone extender.
Should I keep talking? Is it okay to keep talking?
Yep, yeah. We're just not listening is all.
Okay. There was one particular person we worked with who everyone told me, "Oh, don't ever do a caricature of her," and so I kind of said, "Okay, I'll never show her the caricature I've already drawn of her."
You did it
I don't know whether she
anyways,
ever
and it
saw it or not,
exists.
but
Yeah, I
yeah,
saw
I
it.
was told she'd be very angry, possibly beat me up.
I saw it too.
I feel like
It's
it was
too late. We all
Yeah,
seen it.
pretty much everybody saw it. I feel like it was kept in my office for a while for some reason.
Did she ever see it? I mean, did
Is that right?
person ever see
It might have been. What was that?
Did that person ever see it?
I as far as I know, I never showed it to her. Whether anyone else ever
I
did.
believe she did. I
don't
think
know.
she did eventually see it. I think Ron broke down and was like, "Oh, hey, there is one of you." Because at a certain point, once everybody gets one, and even though you're like, "He better not do one of me because I don't
you're
want to
like,
be all
"Where's
stretched out
mine?"
and weird," and then it's just like, "Yeah, exactly." Like, oh, so I'm not good enough for one. Like, well, you frightened Don, so of course not. Like the same reason certain people don't get asked out on dates. Or whatever, like, some people are scary, like, and that's the thing that happens. Why people don't approach you with questions, even though they need to come to you with questions, you're a little bit scary. And you do it on purpose, so don't act like, you know, why am I scary? Because of the scary things you try to do. I know you're not scary, because I know you behind the scenes, and that's fine. And Don knows you're not scary, but... You know, we also know that, yeah, you do carry a knife sometimes, or a metal rod to fend off ne'er-do-wellers.
Oh God.
So yeah, there is those things, but I think it
We've
was...
been caricaturized by you a few times.
Yep.
At the studio.
You know what? I actually still have one that I'm working on. It's been a work in progress for like 3 years or more of the two of you. And it's like every now and then when I have a little extra time, I go and do a little more work on it. But it's been a long time in the works.
That'd be amazing. Oh, now you're at.
Yeah.
Now I'm just gonna bug you every day for it. Where's the character done?
Yeah, maybe I shouldn't have
What are
said
you
anything.
At least a progress report. Some thumbnails.
Oh God.
Yeah, there was... I mean, again, yeah, then after the meetings, people would come to me as well, like people would come into my office somehow as if, and I mean, I would make up answers, I guess, maybe, or I just would guess and be right sometimes. But then they would come in and ask, like, specifically, like, so did Don do me today? Like, I don't know what Don sees through his eyes. I was doing the meeting. I'm at the front of the room. You know that, right? Like, I'm the guy who you were supposed to be listening
We're actually trying to connect business here.
Yeah. Remember when you were worrying about Don the whole time? Could you have paid attention to me and checked your quick times? Ollie's missing a head.
Check your quick time.
Oh, did we talk about something in the meeting?
Those were the worst as well. Of just the, hey, yeah, I just was wondering, like, did I miss anything? You were there. I saw you. Yeah, but I wasn't really paying attention. I was drawing or doing something else or, you know, whatever, worrying about all the things I worry about. Like, yes, yeah. Anyway, fine. I don't care. Sit down. Here's what the meeting was.
Here's what the meeting was. Here are the people that are fired.
Yeah.
You.
Start
The
doing
end.
the things that you
That
need
was
to do.
colliding.
That is all. What did the Germans say? Home at a Simpson. That is all.
Yeah. The following people are fired. That is all. Yeah.
Good times.
We never had any firings at the meeting though. It was usually
Well, you should have. Then people would pay attention.
yeah, we never got
You should have hired people
Iron-fisted.
just so you could fire them. Like,
Or like have a quiz at the end of the meeting about everything you talked
Everybody
about.
just
Anybody
tell
who
it.
can't pass the quiz is fired.
I feel like Jacques did something like that at least once. I mean, he came up with a few like elementary school teacher type of ideas where it was just that, like, hey, like at the end of this meeting, I'm gonna do this and or whatever, tape the marker to somebody's hand so you remember to use the check
Oh,
thing.
God.
It's just like, yeah. Remember how I said that was a good idea? Once I saw you doing it, I completely nope, that's assault. Not a good idea. Shouldn't have done that. Go apologize.
so
That
abused.
sounds more like a Brendan tactic.
Yeah. I don't know. I did, like, again, there's been a few times. Like, I did that one night where the one guy who everybody had a vendetta against, I think it might have been pre-Dawn years, but he wouldn't use model sheets in a way where he actually said, and I think we've talked about this before, he specifically said the words to me, oh, I don't use model sheets. Well, that's not how it works. You're like, you're a professional.
Don't need them.
You're a teacher of this before you came here.
It's
like,
all up there.
so much experience. No, it's like, but then you lose all the feeling. Like, I have to put myself into this, or I have to put whatever. I'm thinking
But
about.
also, you lose who the hell is this character?
Yeah. When the cleanup people keep
Also,
asking me who this who is.
Is
I
this
don't
the
work in
lizard or the
Flash.
little boy?
What was that?
And also, I don't work in Flash, so
Yeah.
if that's gonna be a problem, then
We've had a few of those in the past too, of just like, I just don't do that. So is it cool if I draw it on paper and then we figure out a way in between? No, it's not. No, it's not. We don't have. You asked me to hire 4 other people to work for you, and I'm just trying to hire one over here. No, go away, sir. Learn or go away.
So now remember Nicholson? Now I'm a Nicholson. Did you hear about
Oh,
this? Did you
yeah?
hear about this?
I don't know if I've heard about this.
I'm working at Lugru. Well, I'm not actually Nicholson. I'm just a producer now.
Oh, you didn't
I
change your
am
last.
the
I've changed my name to Nicholson.
puppeteer. And at the
Because
studio, I
I'm a
make everybody call me
producer now.
Nicholson.
All producers are named Nicholson.
That's all I know. And I need my jet ski and my canoe.
You got to get your builder's permit though, or whatever that carpentry.
Well, congratulations on the producer gig. Is that? Is that something I should congratulate you on, or does it totally suck?
No, it's pretty awesome. I love bossing people around. It's great.
Okay, good.
It's my thing.
That's what you were born to do.
Yeah.
It's like 40%.
It's like, I didn't know
Tell
this
other
is what
people
producers
what to
did.
do.
I didn't think they did anything. I thought they just went around on jet skis, came down, I don't know, went and bought the beer on Fridays.
Basically,
got
yeah,
the
like
pizza.
Nicholson did. He took on a lot of the fun stuff that we got to see, where it was like, we're taking you guys on canoe trips. I'm going to go get food for you. I'm going to get booze for you guys. I'm going to get snacks. Okay, cool. What does this guy do? Why does he make 300 times more than all of us? Like, because he also figured out how to get like 9 other people to do all the other stuff that you do now, scheduling, bossing people around. He bossed those people. He got the right people who just take care of it, and then they walk around hating themselves, going, "This guy makes 300,000 more dollars a day than I should." I don't know how much he made. Definitely not $300,000 a day, but whatever. Like most people make normal amounts of money, and then you have like a high-end producer. You're definitely not a high-end producer, I don't think. Not based
Only
on
associate producer.
yeah the paychecks I've been hearing about. But
Hey,
yeah,
I'm
like,
doing good. I get a percentage of.
that's a pretty good
That's
deal.
good.
So yeah, like stuff gets done, and then she gets a percentage of like if she hired you to do something, she'd be getting paid for stuff you did,
Well, no, not that.
Not like that,
I
but,
get
you know,
percentage
like-
of the overall
Yeah.
contract right now.
which
so.
is still coming right out of your pocket. Don.
Yeah, coming out of your pocket.
When they talk about those people that skim off the top, finally made it.
That's me.
Well, congratulations.
But yeah, speaking of your secret caricatures.
Yeah, if you're
in
looking
this-
for work too, hit me up.
Oh yeah, Don's always looking for work.
Or if
every
you know
once in a
anybody
while.
looking for freelance work too. Oh, now I just said that all over the whole internet. Oops.
It's mostly the same people that you said it to on Facebook.
Okay.
It's all people at animation studios looking for work, desperate. Yeah, on your wall there, well, on your everywhere, I noticed you posted this big thing, and it was just like, oh, too long. I'm not gonna read this.
So many
And then-
words.
I read it, Don.
I did read it though, but then I'm just like,
couldn't help
but it's a
myself.
Don thing. It's probably gonna be good, and I
It
can't
wasn't
not
funny,
read it.
though. I'll admit I didn't write a funny thing this time. It was something that I was actually serious about, which doesn't happen very often.
Well, it's just like the black background and the white. It was very serious looking, so it was like I can't pass this up. I can't just walk away. Too often I do this, and yeah, by the end of it, I'm just like, yeah, like that's what people are doing. Like that photos are for the other stuff. You want to look at yourself and feel bad about how you actually look? Take a photo and then feel bad. But yeah, like you shouldn't though.
So
Like
we should say what.
so yeah, the gist I guess is
Well, Don could tell.
yeah,
us.
Don, just tell us the whole thing
Okay. Okay.
verbatim without reading it.
Some of this might actually sound like verbatim quoting because I've said it so many times that it's become routine for me. But okay, so one of the ways that I make money as a caricaturist is to go down to the waterfront here in Halifax during the summer, and I have a little stand that I set up there. As you guys know, you've been
We've been stood.
and I get a lot of people, walking by who don't want to get their caricature done, which is, understandable. If, I do not expect everybody who walks by to get their caricature done. But when like when I listen in on conversations, I overhear people telling each other the reason they don't want to get their caricature done is because they know I'm going to emphasize all their flaws, and they use the word flaws, and that just bugs me because as you guys know, what a caricaturist really does, what I do as a caricaturist is I try to pick out the person's most notable features, the ones that make that person look different from anyone else, from the person sitting next to them or whatever. You know, we all have distinguishing features, and so I try to pick those out and I exaggerate them. Yeah.
You're the one that looks like this. I'll remember the name that goes with that set of features.
Exactly.
That's humanity.
Exactly. These distinguishing features are necessary, or else we wouldn't be able to tell each other apart. And so, yeah, I exaggerate those features. And I don't, a lot of people say, "Oh, well, you're making fun of people," and I don't see it that way. I don't think I'm making fun of those features. I'm emphasizing them to call attention to them, like to celebrate them, I suppose, is one way you could say it.
No, I think
in a way that's it's for fun. We get a laugh out of it, hopefully, but it's not intended as laughing at someone. It's supposed to be laughing with them. But it really gets to me when I hear people call those distinguishing features flaws, because I just think we've gotten ourselves over centuries. This isn't a new thing. This is over centuries. We have developed this mindset, this society where we believe that if we don't fit exactly into a certain mold, then we are flawed. There's something wrong with us, and it really rubs me the wrong way. And what I'm hoping is that I posted this message on the internet and asked people to share it around. I never ask anyone to share anything on the internet because I hate most of the things I've seen that are shared. But I asked people to share this around, hoping that maybe just a few people would read it and start to try to train themselves to think differently, look at themselves in the mirror and say, yeah, I have a big forehead, I have a big nose. So what? That's the way I am. That's part of me. That is not a flaw. I am not flawed because I'm unique. And so that was the message I was trying to share. And I asked people to share it around, and a few people did, not as many as I would have liked. But it's not over. I can, it's the internet, so it'll always be there.
We'll put it up on our Facebook page now.
No, I shared it once.
Okay.
That's it.
And we'll post it around with this show for our Tumblr and all of our other stuff, Pinterest.
Oh, that'd be great.
WordPress
And anyone listening to this, if you happen to see it there, or if you happen to be on my Caricatures by Don Facebook page and see it there, or wherever you might happen to see it, please do share it and hopefully start changing some minds.
Well, the best way to look at that too is through caricaturesbydon.com. If you go there, you can see regular people, quote unquote, and celebrities, and they're both in your same character style.
And when you look at the celebrities, you're not like that person. Oh my god! You're like, oh my god, that's awesome.
Yeah, like that's the Mick Jagger mouth, that's the Mick Jagger nose, that's the David Bowie face or whatever.
Right.
Like David Bowie, when you really break it down and accentuate his features, it is like you're kind of ugly, like. And we all are like that's because it's just like no, but
we're all beautiful.
Exactly. So it's like
we're all hideous and flawed.
Yeah, like exactly. Like if you do look in your mirror and decide whatever, I have a big this and a weird that, then you have to think that about everybody else because nobody fits into the mold, and anybody who does. They're the weird ones. Like that's the Twilight Zone because it's just like, why do you look like this?
The other thing is that all this stuff isn't like normal. Like when you look at people that get plastic surgery to make themselves look more.
Everybody Google Sugar Ray now.
Normalized. Like, oh my god, they look like non-people as they age. It's ridiculous. And how would you even caricature that. Oh, now you're just nothing. Like Jennifer Grey and like getting rid of her nose. That's what made her her.
Yeah,
and now it's like she's
everything's
unrecognizable
caricaturable now.
But one of the things for me too, like we stopped having television. Like we still watch shows online, but I don't watch commercials anymore. And just after watching commercials, I mean, all of the things, like I was constantly feeling bad about how I looked, or this, like thinking like, oh my God, like I'm turning 40. Should I get Botox? Is that something I should be thinking about? Like probably not now, but maybe in the future, like getting wrinkles.
Yeah.
And it's like, whatever, dye my hair, doing a bunch of different things. And once we got rid of the commercials, I kind of stopped feeling the need to do a lot of that stuff. And then we stayed in a hotel and watched commercials on TV at the hotel. And I'm not even joking, only after 2 days, I was like, do I need to get Botox?
Yeah.
Like,
Wow.
Yeah, it's like, I got to get better shampoo.
that was only
and I
after
need to
2
eat some
days. Yeah, I was
McDonald's.
like, I need to get better shampoo. I was like, what hair products should I be putting in my hair? Like, I need to look youthful. Get some creams. Like, I need to go to Shoppers Drug Mart right now. And that was only after 2 days of
that's
commercials.
crazy.
I couldn't believe it. So it's like
Wow.
it's in people's faces
That's
constantly.
Yeah, I mean that's what commercials are for, right? They're to make us feel like we need something that we've never realized we needed before.
Exactly.
Well, they work
And
so well.
and unfortunately,
that,
a lot of them do that by making you feel like there's something wrong with you the way that you are right now. And the only way to fix it is to buy our product.
Well, the one that it makes me so sad is like Pink, like her whole deal for like first 3 or 4 albums was, hey, just be yourself. I'm not like all these other girls. This is who I am. Deal with it. Like
Right.
I was born this way before Lady Gaga was being born this way, and now she, or I think she still is like a makeup spokesperson specifically, and it's just like, well, no, that's not right. Like this doesn't make any sense. Well, now none of your songs are meaningful at all. Not that I'm like a big Pink fan or anything, but it's just like that's garbage to me now. And like there was somebody else the same deal where it's just like, oh, like one of your whole things
Yeah,
is
that's
just like
interesting.
I'm a nice natural person who eats healthy and whatever, but then it's like, but then I put this on and I know there's like ammonia in that, so or whatever, like
Yeah.
it's still paint.
But look at me now. I'm more beautiful than I was before.
Yeah.
Yeah. But the reason you got that job was because you
Huh.
were more beautiful than everybody else before you had this makeup commercial. So we should just follow your blog and not your commercial career, and see what's going on there.
Right. Yeah. So yeah, this is the reason that I do strive for exaggerations in my caricatures. Like a lot of if a client asks me, like I do the rough sketch and I send it to him, and if the client asks me to tone down the exaggerations, I will. I don't want to. I don't like doing it, but I will because they're the client and they're paying for it. But the reason I don't like to, I always thought it. For a long time, I thought it was just the artist in me saying, "Oh, don't tell me what to do with my artwork." But I came to realize what really bothers me about it is that clearly these people are buying into this mindset that I'm making fun of people if I exaggerate their features, which is not my aim, obviously.
They literally see it as you're going,
Excuse me.
this is you. That's what
Yeah.
you look like to me. Like, okay, no. I'm having fun. You're having fun. This is what I'm enjoying these parts. You're sticking your tongue out at me. Like, no, this is, I'm sorry you hate yourself, but I'm trying to help you love things about yourself. Here's your money back.
Yeah. There's a lot of discussion among caricaturists a lot of times about whether it's acceptable to accentuate, like, to make fun of people by exaggerating their features. And I always feel like, if I just assume that somebody who's sitting in the chair is sensitive about these features, and therefore, I'll call attention away from those things. Isn't that just as insulting as
Yeah. You're like,
as you're claiming
you look
pointing
kind
them
of
out
hideous. So I'm
is?
gonna
Like,
make you look better.
yeah, I assume you don't like the size of your nose, so I'm gonna make it smaller. And then they look at it and it doesn't look like them, and
Exactly.
Yeah, I get really terrified of drawing real people in the real world. When I get to that point where it's like, if, at the meetings, I'll do the same thing a lot, and I'll doodle the other people on the other side of the screen, or whatever, Brent or whoever's like sitting there, whoever's across from me, and a lot of times I'll get to that point where it's just like, oh hey, I just realized like, I'm not even going to show this person this thing, but yeah, it's like suddenly, is this an issue? Like, because just that, it's like people are sensitive about noses, and I usually don't even think about mine in any way, shape, or form until like right now or whatever, or in the morning, just like, oh geez, like that is what it looks like, huh? There it is, all over the place. Like in my head, it is not this shape or this size, but there it is. I got to remember this is what my face looks like when I'm out in the world, because I don't know what I picture, but it's not this. And that's what people do. Like everybody is that we inundate ourselves with so much TV and so many other faces that it is like you forget what your own face looks like. And then the people that are like, well, I refuse to get my picture taken, I avoid mirrors at all costs. Then now it is like a picture from you has now become like a Death Star laser of just like, this is everything about your face, huh? Like I've been avoiding my face so much. Like, yeah, well, here it is. And it's from a person, not even from your own mind. And then it's just like, but again, it's like, no, I wasn't. I was just saying, hey, here's you. Like, aren't you awesome? And just people just don't hear that.
Right.
Like,
I wasn't saying, here's you. I was saying, hey, here's you.
And it's like, I can half understand, like, just again from that whole artist thing of like, don't tell me how to not put accentuated stuff on there. Like every time I get a revision, I mean, I've been getting them for a million years, and it's still like, really? Are you kidding me? Pretty sure I did the best job anybody could have ever done. I was kind of expecting a bonus and like a present. I was genuinely expecting a bonus and a present after that. Not not revisions. Not any, let alone like a page full. Like who are you? Who is this guy?
I admit I have that level of pride too. When I'm animating and I get a revision back on something, there's always this part of me that feels offended by it. That usually, most of the time, I go back and look at it and go, "Oh, yeah, okay, you were right."
Yeah.
I used to always treat it like this, though, and I only told I think just one person was like with me on it, was that I saw sometimes that people would not get revisions, and he would do their revisions because they weren't capable of doing it. And so I would compete. Did I compete with John G? I would compete with John G, who had the bigger list, because that meant that Ron cared more about your scenes and that they were good enough to be improved, and that you were also good enough to be the one improving them. So it was a good thing to get revisions. It was a bad thing to not get revisions.
Yeah, like Mirko got other people's revisions.
Yep.
Because he was so good.
Then you need to be worried when you're not getting revisions. So when I taught at the school, I always told the students that. I was like, you're going to get revisions. You're always going to get revisions. And it's a good thing. I was like, don't worry when you get revisions. Worry when you don't get revisions. Because then you're
on the way out.
Yep.
Yeah, I was recently working on a project, if I can tell this story without naming any names at all. I was working on a project where I was asked to do a scene that was already marked off as done on the list, and so I went and I asked the individual who had assigned this scene to me why that was, and I was told that he had already assigned it to another animator and hated what that animator had done with it, and didn't think that that person was going to be capable of doing it right, so it was given to me.
Nice.
So I thought, and on the one hand, it kind of sucked because it meant I had to try to work off of something that someone who wasn't good at it had already done. Geez. But on the other hand, at least I thought, well, at least he trusts me. At least he thinks I'm good enough.
Yeah, it's a good learning experience and painful. Like, it's all the things. That's what a learning experiences usually are, painful for you and the person who is also realizing they have to learn something when you take it away from them. But yeah, sometimes it is just that, where it's like, I don't know, like, when we first started having a big studio, started having a cleanup department and a rough department, we never really had experience with that. We just did it all ourselves, and it was like, okay, so this guy roughed it. I can't send this to cleanup. This is still a mess. Send it back to him again and again and again and again. And it was just like, and it was Graham. I'll say his name. He was just like, he was just starting, and he was just like, he's like, I don't understand. I just don't understand. I'm like, I know it's a weird angle, and I was trying to draw it. I was like, I'm having a hard time with it too. So I kept trying to do some drawings, and he would try again. And he actually, for once, he was like, sometimes you just do this. Like, if you really fudge it, like, just really, like, get really rough, and then you can still, like, kind of feel the movement, but you don't have to get, like, perfectly structural with your drawing. Like, no, that's a great idea for something that's only going to be rough, and it's all about the animation and the movement.
Yeah.
This has to be cleaned and painted, so it has to look like something.
Lines on it.
Right.
Yeah, I was like, I used to pull that trick when I was a kid too, but now we can't get away with this. So then whatever, there was a bunch of issues where Adam's scenes specifically, who were that were just great. So Adam will put little subtle bits of animation.
Naming names everywhere.
And he was getting really upset that cleanup people were just like leaving out animation. And it's just like, well, it was like, I kind of don't care. The stuff's getting done. It's just for kids. We're not going to watch this, but whatever. Let's do our best to make it awesome. I like it the way it looked rough, but at the same time, it's such a minute detail that, again, is it worth the amount of money these people are making and the amount of hours we have to put in?
No.
Let's figure this out. So then it was like, okay, if you have a problem,
I'll solve it.
Yeah, come to me and basically ask, like, is it okay that they changed it, and should they change it back or whatever? Like, okay, so we were just going through the process, and a few people were like, yeah, cool, all right, yeah, we'll send this one back. We'll get them. They shouldn't have done that. And this one, yep, that's fine. Leave it the way it is. Sorry, you over animated. They did the right job. And then Graham comes to me specifically. He's okay. He's like, well, some of my scenes weren't cleaned the same way. I'm like, oh yeah. So don't worry about it.
Isn't he a cleanup artist?
No, not then. He started out as a rougher, and then sometimes you take a rough animator and you make them clean other people's stuff so they can learn what they're doing wrong. And he turned out he liked doing cleanup better because he liked seeing other people's stuff, and learning more.
We would fight for like Mirko's scenes.
Yeah, there was people that you wanted to clean up really bad. So like I either took the Mirko scenes myself and cleaned them. Just to treat myself. It's like, well, I got to do something.
Just to treat myself.
Well, I can't supervise all night long. There's full super hours that go by where there's nothing for me to do. I might as well get work done and help people out. But that's not what a good producer does. I should just sit and wait and be using my mind.
Your job is to wait.
But I don't know. There was so much to get done. So I would either sign out something that was a mess or something that was super easy. And so I took those scenes where it was like, well, cleanup's going to have a horrible problem with these. So I'm just going to help out both Graham and the animators, and I'll just do the scene / clean it. And it's like completely different from what he had done. So it's just like, well, I have a problem. Like, it's different. Like, okay, we'll just go talk to whoever cleaned it up. And he's just like, it was you. I'm like, oh, those scenes. I already forgot about that.
There isn't a problem.
Yeah, I was like, those were
it all looks fine
mess.
to you.
They were very rough. Yeah. So I did what I could. Remember how you were having trouble with it? I had trouble with it too. And we got it done or whatever.
Like, buddy.
Yeah, but seriously, yeah, it's just like you got to go and look at some cleanup. Go talk to the cleanup people and get some insight from them because yeah, like they're having trouble with your work, and it's not that you're a bad person. Like
glad he didn't come and talk to me.
Yeah, so I think he hung out with Renata for a little bit, and she helped him out there, and I believe just convinced him to become a cleanup artist.
I remember a certain animator. We'll just call him Joel McKenzie.
He's famous now. Famous animator that used to hang out with us.
He's my spy buddy.
Remember, the cleanup people complained about his work all the time because he was.
Yeah, cleanup hated Joel. I don't know how he. Like I even went to him, but like again, I would take some of his scenes. Like I'll deal with it and just be like, Joel, man, come here. What is this? Why did you do this way? Like, oh no, it's like, and he would explain it to me in a way that's like that. When you explain it, that makes so much sense. When you put it into a computer, it's chaos. You understand? It's chaos. Like, just consolidate these into one layer. Draw this as one thing. Like, I see how you're simplifying it, but it's actually you've made a Rube Goldberg machine of events that only Don's son could understand right now, And yes, it was like, and I think this way too. That's why I clean up my own stuff, because I do make a weird, elaborate machine. And then it's like, well, I can't give this to anybody. This is the madness of a crazy person. And Joel, you're crazier than I am. So you're either have to have to clean up your own stuff, or start fixing up.
I was going to say, didn't you guys make him clean up his own work for a while?
Yeah, so he did, and then he came in, and he felt real bad because he was like, "Oh yeah, this is crazy. You can't paint this stuff. See? Like, thank you. Happy birthday, Joel. You can animate again now that you understand." But people get caught up in just the line itself, and it's like, that's great, but I gotta fill the other half in and put color here, and I gotta get that done quick. Like, nah. I'm going to put all these lines on separate layers. Where's the paint go then? Where's the paint go, Joel? I don't know. Away. But yeah, like I said.
Animation.
Yeah, we got to get Joel on the show, actually. Yeah, he's got like a show that's being produced based on something or other he did. And
a short film.
I know, this guy is
short films.
He's crazy getting like films made and directing TV shows and stuff. Well, how did that happen?
I don't know. There's a certain mindset you have to do that thing. Like him, Steve, who owned the company. Most maniacs have it, where it is like
megalomaniac.
Yeah, megalomaniacs. You gotta have a certain level of that, where you're just like, I know this all seems like a giant undertaking that couldn't possibly be done, but I'm gonna forget about that completely, and I'm just gonna do, and try not. There is no try. Never give up. Never surrender. To infinity and beyond, and that's it. And it's just like, but what about? There is no what abouts. Like even just that. It's like, hey, there's Don with 100 kids. Like, nope, I can't fathom that in the same way. Whereas like, whatever. Like, I'm gonna do a YouTube video every day, and I'm gonna do a podcast and all these other things. Where Don would just be like, no, that's too much. That's too much to do for whatever. Like, that's crazy talk.
I cannot imagine. Do you remember I was actually talking for a little while that I was thinking of maybe making my own podcast. And after pondering that for a couple of weeks, I went, "What? Am I crazy? There's no way I'm ever going to have time to do that." I even wrote some things. And the difference with my podcast was that it was going to be all like pre-written stuff. I don't trust myself to talk without like sounding like, first of all, really boring, and also like a maniac. And so I had this all like pre-written rants that I was gonna read off, and then I realized I'm never gonna have time to keep this up, like to keep writing these and then record them and then all that. So it never happened. I have a few that I wrote, but I never recorded or anything.
Do you have?
I just don't have time.
Read them right now.
It's just not gonna happen. What was that?
Read them right now. Your loss, our gain.
Yeah.
We're gonna have a podcast with you telling your rants on it.
All right.
Yeah, that's the easier way to get around it.
Yeah.
Like, that's what I don't know, in the world of being whatever it is you are and doing whatever it is you do, like, you either, like what we've been doing for a long time as far as animation goes, is like, I'm not going to go start an animation studio. I'm not even going to just like, I'm going to get a loan and make a film like you're doing. Like, that's even scary. It's like, I need a job. I need somebody to pay me to do this thing and ask me to do this thing, and then have these other things where it's like, I'd love to be on the radio, but having a radio job, getting up in the morning, staying there all day long, like, that's crazy talk. Like, that's the one thing I don't like about having a job is, you want me to do it all day? I can do, like, I can really, like, in 1 hour, I feel like I deserve a whole day's pay for doing either a podcast or whatever. And it's like, but nobody, that's a weird job to get, where it's like, no, just do the hour. You get to edit it yourself. You get to do it all at home. Like, nobody's doing that. But podcasting, like, it allows me to do that, where it is like, oh, cool. And it's still required, like, Mike and Ben to be like, you should do this. You should be our internet radio show. Okay, I've only ever wanted somebody to ask me to do that. Because I don't know how. I don't know what's going on with these computers. I can install the RAM. Back in the old days, I can't now. But that's when I knew how to do things.
Is that still a thing? Does RAM still exist?
I think so. In some computers, it's all solid state nonsense. I think it's all just RAM machines now.
Oh, okay.
But only because, like, again, the same thing. When I started Kaleidoscope, Steve was like, hook up all this video and audio gear. I don't know how. All right, cool. See you later. Wait, no, I said I don't know how. Where did he go? So, and then I did it. I did it. So then it was like, I could answer all those questions. I still hook up video and audio gear today. And then when the podcast came around, Mike brought in a microphone, and Ben tried to plug it into computers and do things. And in the end, it was like, do you know what you're doing, Ben? Like, no. Mike, do you have a clue? No. Well, now I'm excited for this thing. Get out of the way. There we go. It's a podcast. You guys come and interview me on my podcast then. And that's what that became. And then, after a while, it just became like, I don't want to be asked anymore, when it was like, all right, we moved away. I would like to just do it whenever I feel like it with whatever person is adjacent. And that will be an ideal life. So it's like, well, perfect. You want to do the show. You have things to say.
Tara.
Oh.
That's what you are to Curtis. You're the adjacent person with who can make a podcast.
Body. Whoever's around.
I need somebody who can absorb sound and give some sort of feedback from that sound. Also is pretty and is alive and warm.
Uh-oh. I don't think Don knows.
Probably not.
Oh God.
I assume that's why he wanted to be on the show. Do you know Don?
Do I know why I wanted to be on the show?
Oh, yeah. Let me answer that one first.
Oh, okay. No, I don't know. I just like to call attention to myself.
Perfect. So you haven't.
And we love that. Charactersbydon.com.
Excellent. Have you listened to say the last 5 to 10 episodes?
Look at me! I am Don.
Oh yeah, this is actually going on his video. I keep forgetting. But yeah, we.
He's so sad about his caricature now.
Yeah. We're still a team. But yeah.
Did you ever listen to that band Roxette?
I'm familiar with one or two of their songs.
I think so. Or the White Stripes, possibly.
Or the White Stripes. How they used to be a couple,
yes, I'm a White Stripes
but now
fan.
they still are a band, but they're no longer a couple.
Right.
That's what's going on here.
We started a band.
No, but we're no longer a couple. Did
Oh,
you
is
know
that right? No, I didn't know that.
Oh God, now we're shocking you. Mm-hmm. We're supposed to say that a different way. We have some
good news and some bad news.
Yeah. Some news that might shock you.
Good news. Hello, Don. The bad news, we're not together anymore.
But it's okay, we're still friends.
But that good news sure was good.
And we're still your friend, Don. That's the most important thing.
That's good. I don't have to choose now?
No, only Mirko has to choose.
Me. Don's gonna choose me anyway.
Yeah, I don't know the way, because Tara said
only
it.
Mirko has to
Don wants to be on the show. Oh, perfect. Awesome. It's he has some things he wants to talk about or something like that. Oh, what? And I just assumed, is Don gonna, get after us? Oh, that's the headphone wire. And yeah, I was oh, we're gonna have to answer some hard questions, because, oh, geez. So, oh.
We did already talk about it on the podcast.
Yeah, if you go back through the episodes, and to the new listeners, go listen to the last 4 or 5 episodes. That one. And go to listen to the breakup episodes. That's what it's called.
What?
Oh, okay. I seem to remember seeing that title. I must not have listened to that one.
It still could have been about anything.
Okay. Yeah, I guess.
There's episodes that are called Dumped on Your Birthday and Dumped on Christmas, but that didn't happen. They're just funny things.
It's funny how many things. Funny how many things I've learned just by listening to the podcast, things about you guys, or Mike White. I learned Mike White was married by listening to your podcast.
Oh my God, Mike White is divorced now, Don.
Mike White is divorced now. Oh God,
is he really?
We're
yes.
This is the bad news show.
But he has a new girlfriend, so it's okay. She seems super nice.
Oh, okay. Where does he even live? This is something we
mostly
should
in
be
San
talking about
Francisco
on the
now.
podcast?
For a while, he was mostly San Francisco and Ontario, and a little bit here. And then as soon as I could use a place to stay, he moved away and gave up his apartment. So yeah, now he's just mostly in San Francisco and on my Skype box like you are. And yeah, now that we had a partnership in Ontario with a company that were helping us make our games there, and they were like, guess what?
Yeah.
We're dumping you too. Excellent. After you have a party for us, great. I feel excellent this month. How many more people can dump me? And then so now Mike doesn't have as much reason to stay there all the time. So now he's mostly just in San Francisco with his cats again.
Oh, okay. Yeah, because I knew some of those details, but it just made me confused. Like, how can he do that from Ontario? Does he live in Miramichi? Yeah.
Yeah,
It's just a traveler.
even more so. Yeah, it's like I don't know how he lived in any of these places like all the time because it was literally like he'd be on the screen in Ontario at a meeting one day, then the next day they were like, "Where's Mike?" Like, I don't know. I think he's over in the other office. Like, should we go get him? Let me check his schedule. Nope, says he's in Miramichi. Ding, ding, ding. Like, hey guys, you were just on the screen yesterday. How is this possible? Like, I can't drive to Cape Breton and back without needing 2 days of sleep. Yeah. And like, have you ever slept? And the answer is no. He just doesn't sleep anymore. He's just constantly. He's become
horrible.
Johnny Mnemonic and the Matrix, or Lawnmower Man. That's what it is. Johnny.
We're the only ones that
Or
know
Max
any of these
Headroom.
references.
Oh man. Well, have we adequately pumped out all of Don's website
Well, I'm gonna
addresses?
do a sneak. I don't know, like it's promoting him, but / also promoting the Angie and Andrew show because we used Don's caricature of Andy Warhol as a background for several episodes of the episodes, and you can check them out on YouTube.
Yep.
The only finger puppet
I love
sitcom
Andrew and
in
Andrew.
existence.
Yep.
There's always a delay when Don talks, and it's just like, yep. It's like, oh wait, he was saying something. He's like,
Waiting for me to say something really intelligent, and then I come out with, "Yep."
But yeah, I mean that's a 50-minute show there. My name is Curtis.
And I'm Tara.
And I'm
This is
Don.
Don.
There we go. It's even more so that 'cause
CharactersbyDon.com.
your face is
You're
frozen, so
frozen.
I'm like, and then the voice, I'm Don, like from inside your frozen face. I'm the little man who's trapped inside Don.
Oh my god.
And
This
yeah,
is
so
awesome.
check out all those things. Go to our website and
Yeah, we
get
can,
all
you
our
can come
stuff.
on our podcast anytime you want. We'll just have fun. We'll get better
'Kay.
headphones so we can hear you better.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on with
Also,
this. I'll
you
go
should
through the mixer
do,
next time.
if you want to promote that / charactersbydon.com, you should do Day in the Life of an Artist for us, and then I'll promote it all over the place.
Don's never
Oh,
done a
yeah.
day in the life.
Yeah, we can do
Of
that.
Don?
No, I've
No,
never
I
done
want
a
to
day
see
in life.
what the caricature artist does all day, or
Send me some
/ animator.
details about how that
Okay,
works
I'll
exactly.
email you.
It's much easier than you think.
Okay.
Yeah, you can just record your day however you want, and then
Yeah.
post it on our blog, and I'll promote it.
It's a blog post.
Okay.
Hey, I promote it everywhere.
Good.
Oh yeah, no,
Everybody
I mean,
It gets around. It
I mean,
gets
as far as
around.
like doing
People
it wise,
love
it's
it.
not like
People that don't even listen to the show like go to that and check it out and stuff. So
yeah. Cal's a big fan of it. He's always asking me about that. Hey Cal, oh you guys are still in the podcast? I love the Artist for a Day.
yeah, I love the artist for a day. Like,
Thank you. I love the comic books you sell. Also go to Strange Adventures. They probably have some of Don's work there at some point. Go bring some of your stuff over to Strange Adventures. Tell them to sell it for you. They will.
yeah, you should.
I better run some over right now.
Yeah, because
be-
people are on their
because you
way.
said that.
The show will be out probably tomorrow. You're out of time, Don. You're out of time. It's too late.
God.
They're already there. They're at the door. There's a lineup. Cal is investing in velvet ropes. His
I
the
just
velvet
missed
rope.
out on a sales opportunity.
Oh.
Oh man.
Thanks for being on our show.
You can
thanks
find
a
my
lot,
work
Don.
at caricaturesbydon.com. And
All right.
and I'm on Instagram now.
Oh yeah,
and,
I started
and
following that.
Twitter
I did too.
and Tumblr and I think that's all.
They better be all linked from
Facebook?
charactersbydon.com. And if they're
They
not,
are.
get over to Cal's and do that on his computer.
All right. See ya.